government debt is at an all-time high. For example, the United States is expected to reach a debt-to-GDP ratio of 130% in 2021, up from 80% in 2010. While debt is important to stimulate the economy when aggregate demand is weak, it might make countries more vulnerable to future negative shocks. To understand how debt affects a country's resilience, a team of researchers looked at 30 developed nations. They measured each government's fiscal health by looking at a variety of factors, grouping them into countries with high and low fiscal health. Then, the researchers tracked the risk that these countries would default on their debt through the COVID-19 crisis. During the early days of the pandemic, the risk of default remained unchanged. But as cases began to rise, the risk of default increased too. For countries with good fiscal health, the increase was modest. For countries with low fiscal health, the increase was much more significant. This finding holds true for U.S. states as well with actively traded debt. Fiscally constrained states, like New Jersey, showed a significant increase in their risk of default, while states with similar infection rates but lower debt levels, such as Florida, did not suffer to the same extent. This finding highlights that fiscal responsibility cushions the shock and keeps distressed countries from being excessively penalized by financial markets. In summary, by reducing their public debt and maintaining a buffer in good times, governments have more flexibility to respond to external shocks in times of crisis. For more information, check out the paper online.